This video was sponsored by Enhance, NeoWatt, ABRP, Elbilmek, Kempower and EB Hub. Good morning. We just left Göteborg now, heading north towards Kungälv, and I have 44% of the battery and navigated to Ioniq Kungälv. We'll be there in 7 minutes. It's preheating now, 21 degrees Celsius, not ideal. I can take 132 kilowatts, so I want to stop there, not further ahead, because, whoa, is that? What the heck is going on here? Freaking massive stau here. What? Well, it's still by the end of July now, massive traffic throughout Europe. So let's charge over there, and then I think I need to take some detour to avoid that E6 northbound stau. Okay, but this will probably be a 20-minute stop. We are now charging at Ioniq Kungälv. Yeah, getting, well, only 154 kilowatts, close to maximum, right? Or I don't know, we are in the optimal range here. But yeah, I think it was a good choice to come here because I can see the speculated. You see now is Laderstau over there, further down the road. One available, but most likely it's one guy there, and then they're about to start charging. So this is the best deal. But if we actually charge to 90% here, then we should be able to go home. But yeah, what the heck is this? Unfall? Huh? What? And then the car estimates that we take a detour. As usual, when we take these trips to Göteborg, we'll stop at Nordby to have some food and maybe buy some stuff there. Look at this. We purchased it in Denmark. Who the heck put cookies in the sewing kit? Huh? What? What? Seriously? After, well, okay, people are getting impatient, but after 15 minutes in the stau, I realized that the reason why one lane is closed is because they're cutting the grass in the middle of July with the holiday traffic. Really? I mean, that should be illegal. That should seriously be illegal to do it during holiday time, midday. They can do that at night. What? What? There's even more cutting over here. What? They do this 1 in the afternoon. Man, Swedes, sometimes they're not very intelligent, are they? Okay. Well, at least we clear the stau now. Yes, it's about... Look here in Norway, it's 1 at night. And here they cut the grass when there's no traffic. Sweden, watch and learn. We are now at Nordby shopping center, and then just show you guys the stats here. This is from Kungälv. Well, yeah, the place near Kungälv. 3 hours. What did it count me idling? I think this was mainly the Baustelle stau. Yes, 3 hours to travel only 169 kilometers. Wow. And then let me show you here. Total trip so far, over 3,000 kilometers, 256 watt-hour per kilometer. Okay, but you see I have 47% and I refuse to charge over here. Let me see, I can show you. There are some AC charging points there. I think we used it last year, Subtech. Plenty of those, supposedly 80 charging points over here, but severely overpriced. You know, it's the AC charging gate, or this is the no AC challenge. Yeah, I have been Well, okay, almost done, not done yet, but I've been going on the whole trip now without AC charging. The AC charging cable is in the front, deep in the front there. But like, it's almost a scandal how expensive AC charging is, not only in Sweden, but also across Europe, and also including Norway. So it's like many CPOs, they take out AC charging, like Fortum now, was again, Recharge, and many others, Circle K, and they just ditch AC charging and they just go for DC. AC, you can do that at home. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna prepare. The kids, they passed out slightly. I'm gonna prepare the fridge. I always have to do this, just to show you. Yeah, they woke up now. Okay, so here's the power bank. It's from Claes Olsson. I charge it 100%. I'm gonna press and hold the button here, there, so the lightning flashes, because then it keeps the power on. Wait, what? And this is unusual. Wi-Fi is taking out the luggage. Huh? What? Normally I'm the one doing it, but okay. Anyway, gonna plug it in. Okay, okay. You just have to plug it in here. You hear the teeth, and now it's running on the power bank, and it can run it for at least 6 hours. We'll be here maybe just 2 hours. Oh, I'm surprised it's still called Nordby supermarket. Nordby. Yeah, they call it Nordby. It's Thon that owns it, you know. So many places in Norway, like Jessheim Storsenter, they call it Thon Storsenter now. Yeah, but it's always going to be Jessheim Storsenter. You see, the kids, they don't know what this is. Godisfabriken. Isabel, do you know what this is? Nyland. ไม่รู้ใช่ไหม Yeah, we're gonna keep it that way. You don't want the kids to know yet what the heck this is. Once they know, then we cannot walk past it without having to go inside. And as usual, we go for the buffet, Thai buffet here. Yeah, they have lots of food. At least the kids are eating something. We're back in the car. We didn't want to buy anything. I feel like we bought a lot in the past few days. We're 47%. The car estimates 1% at arrival in Jessheim. Really? Okay. There's supposedly some unfall in Oslo. Okay, whatever. Let's go. We are finally back home now. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars parked in front of my house now. Yeah, these are enjoying some free airport parking. So, wait, why is there an empty can here? Gee, man. Okay, I need to maybe move some cars so I can get inside. Yeah, okay. Right, let's organize some stuff. Wait, where do I park? It's kind of tight right now. This is why I don't want too many people to park in front of the house while I'm gone, because it's gonna be too tight. What the heck, man? I had to take a shit. Went inside, and are they still in there? What are they doing? Sleeping still? Okay, anyway, the house looks nice still. Diaper change room. I haven't done anything here for the past year or so. Still the same. I turn off the main, the water pipe, yeah, in case of leakage. Now I turn it on again, so we have Wasser. Alles gut. So it wasn't that hot in here. But then the weather hasn't been crazy hot, so only 28 degrees Celsius. Yeah, and then the pool is also nice. I had to check it, maybe clean it. So, well, let's bring all the folks inside then. What the heck, they're still asleep. Okay, but we better wake them up soon. Man, I'm having some challenges here. I'm trying to be nice and give away some free parking, you know, airport parking. Move the Kia, that's good. He put the key in the garage. I gave him access to the garage while I was gone. The Tesla, I don't have physical key. I have the app access. But then try to move this car. Dude, I need to vacuum clean his car. It's just, I don't know, I like the cars clean, but he has pin to drive he didn't tell me about. Okay, and then the tongue. Well, he left me with this, just a key card, and then when I try it, not there. This doesn't work. And then how are you supposed to start the car? Well, I actually never tried to start a tongue with a. It says no key detected. You have to hold the key near the RF. Wait, is it? This is just for the phone charging, right? What about here? Put it down. Put it. Wait, let's see how. Put that cookie down. It doesn't work. Man. Okay, I need to message the guy about how to move the car because the tongue just happened to be right in front of the house. Okay, but yeah, I was gonna move. Okay, at least the tongue could stay there for now. I can move maybe the Model Y over there so we get this part clear. So whatever, I just move. Okay, whatever. I'll figure out something. Yeah. Okay, finally I got to move the Tesla out of the way. Now I need to load in all the cargo. Oh, it is a lot. Yeah. I'm surprised that this Q6 e-tron can take so much luggage. We keep buying more stuff and we can still fit it in there. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. So how was it to drive the Audi Q6 e-tron Quattro on this road trip? Well, the driving comfort is wonderful. Space, surprisingly good. But on the box test is just large items, but as you see in this road trip, we have smaller items. You can just put them in the small cracks here and there, in the front, in the back. And then we had plenty of space actually. So yeah, that was good. Software, I started writing a list of wish lists, right? Software changes, things that annoyed me. And then for the first 1 to 2 days, I found a couple of things, but that was pretty much it. So the list is only around 12 things, roughly, maybe 12 to 15 things then, not 36 like some Chinese car I tested recently. So, well, I don't know, like, should I say, well, it should have Sentry mode like Tesla, the app should be better or something. Okay, then the list can be long, but at least I would go for things that annoyed me, and it wasn't that much. Okay, I learned to live with some of the lack of features, like you can't keep the 12-volt active. I just have a power bank, problem solved. No more bitching about it for the rest of the trip, right? So yeah, overall though, nice car. Maybe not the most efficient car out there. We had lots of traffic, so we couldn't hammer it too hard. And still it was like, okay, and okay, I did a hammer test, which brought up the average. Plus that maybe the idling here also counts in the trip meter. But yeah, we drove only 3,200 kilometers, so it's not that long trip. And then consumption was around 250 watt hours per kilometer. So that means roughly 800 kilowatt hour used. Only DC fast charging. So the advantage with this car is that it's 800 volt and has a relative flat curve. So many times I find myself having to plug in at 30 to even 50% because because of the traffic, you know, because of the Laderstau during summer, and then we still get decent speed here. So yeah, compared to a Tesla, you know, this is way better. Compared to Xpeng though, or Seeker, or some of the Chinese cars, is like, well, it was going kind of slow towards maybe 85% on this car. So, but I mean, it's still okay. Just a little bit of planning and then it's fine. So, and then, you know, because I'm half Sunnmøring, half Thai, half Norwegian and half German, and they included some free Ionity charging here with the plug and charge, and I tried to use that, right, to keep the cost down, because I already burned lots of money on the other stuff like Legoland and stuff. So then I tried to purposely avoid expensive AC charging. I protest against it because I think AC charging shouldn't be that expensive. The hardware is not that complicated. So why is the AC so expensive? It's weiß nicht. But okay, it was fine. We could complete the test, or the trip rather, real world test, without too much hassle. So compared to like 10 years ago when I drove Tesla across Europe, it was like a jungle of apps and whatever, and now it's way better. And with Tesla and Ionity that covers several countries across Europe, it's just trouble-free. And then you don't have to, if you want, you can pay by card in Deutschland, pay 80 euro cents per kilowatt stunde. Like, no. But yeah, okay, overall though, nice trip. We didn't go all the way to Gdansk like I planned first, but it was like kind of hard to pull it off. So if we skip Legoland next year, maybe then we can go. And then which car should I request to borrow next year? I wanted to try something Chinese. Maybe, well, I mean, I had NIO last year. It was wonderful also. Maybe next year we could try Xpeng, or maybe Seeker, or I don't know what else. But I kind of want something that charges fast. Yeah. Okay, anyway, I think that's gonna be it for now. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you for watching and talk to you later.